This is so cool, bro.
You're fine throughout end of the month.
Hey, Jasil and Carl, what are you doing in my bar?
We have come to make you drink and learn from the guru.
Oh,
From zero, and then now you have Sando Club. And what is the dream right now?
We definitely want to be a global brand that comes out of India, and that's something that we want to scale across India.
No, but the first question is that how much money you need and what do you need it for?
Tell him the actual story, the lemon dosa thing.
To open the place, you want it to work. If you don't make profits, then nothing else is going to work.
Are we one of the first to get a drink by a hand actually in Bangalore?
That looks
Oh,
nice.
fuck, that looks so good. It's distracting, huh?
hello everyone. My name is Avinash Kapoli and welcome to the first episode of Under the Influence. And for this episode, I've got two friends who are founders of a club, and which is the only clubbing scene approved by parents. It's called the Sando Club. Hi Carl. Hi Jasil.
Hello.
Welcome to Under the Influence. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Thank you.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to first make a drink for both of you.
Sorry.
And I want to know what is Sando Club, why sandwiches, and I'm also curious to know the story of what was the dream from zero, and then now you have Sando Club, and what is the dream right now?
Yeah.
Heavy,
Yeah.
heavy. Definitely
Okay.
need a drink for
What are
that.
we having? What are we having?
I'm making the most popular drink in Soka and as well as the country, I believe. Mofodon.
Okay. While you make, I'll just give you a quick recap. So Sando Club right now, and what we're imagining it to be, it's a premium QSR focused on gourmet sandwiches.
Okay.
Right? That's the main idea. But to simplify, imagine you have fine dine kind of thinking in the food,
Okay.
but it's as if served by your best friend in their house. That's the kind of vibe that we want to sell. There's a focus on quality ingredients, that creative pairing of flavors. And then that service is also warm and casual, but also fast at the same time. Like, you know, a typical restaurant might take, say, 15 to 20 minutes to get your food out, first plate out. We take about 7 minutes to get your plate out, but it's also well thought out and crafted meal.
Okay.
You know? So ingredients to like pairing, all of that we focus on. Why sandwiches? Honestly, I think Carl is best to answer that.
So for me, growing up, my mom used to sort of just slap anything between two breads, put it and say, okay, this is tiffin for today.
Okay.
And for me, I think when we finally got to sort of thinking of doing like a restaurant or whatever, I was like, okay, fine. I feel like from whatever I've learned in my career and stuff as a chef, I was like, how can I do everything while still keeping it like accessible and relatable for people? So I thought sandwich was like a perfect canvas to sort of do that.
But you don't think sandwich as from a meal period standpoint? Do you think sandwich can be eaten like any
Yeah.
time of the day?
Yeah.
Or is that how you thought?
Yeah, that's how we look at it. We look
Okay.
at sandwiches as like a blank canvas. It can be a dessert sandwich, it can be an appetizer also, and it can be a whole meal also. So that is the sort of thought that we went into. And we also saw a market in Bangalore at the time where we were like, okay, Bangalore, like burgers had its run, pizzas have had its run, and
Yeah.
like sandwiches is something that people have not really sort of put real good thought into.
Yeah.
So we thought that is the one sort of path you wanted to take and like crack.
Are we one of the first to get a drink by a hand actually in Bangalore?
That looks nice.
Fuck, that looks so good. Wait, is it only for us? You will not be under the influence?
No.
Yes.
When I'm working, I don't think I should be. There you go.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And now you have one Sando Club.
Right now we have one.
Yeah.
And the story also how we started, it was actually, nothing was planned for a while. I think only the last 1 year we were planning of things. Initially we started as a pop-up out of my house because we were bored. He had his culinary experience. I had more of a design and brand.
Tell him the
marketing
actual
experience.
story, the lemon dosa thingy.
I mean, so first my flatmate was there and he comes over and he makes this. We just wanted dosa and he makes some fucking crazy dosa with like lemon butter and things like that. And we're like, fuck bro, people will pay for this also. And we were seeing this whole pop-up kind of a thing popping up in Bangalore, like with Chef Anurag's apartment and fried chicken and so on. Like, hey, we'll also do something on the weekend. He's the mad chef. Started with that. First two pop-ups, there was no concept or anything. It was Goa ex Mexico. He made some Vindaloo tacos and pate, pani puri, wild stuff. Then we're like, hey, let's pick a product like so that it's easy for people to talk about it. Hey, I went to that sandwich pop-up or something like that. Just a word of mouth. Then sandwich just happened that, hey, there isn't actually a good sandwich shop in Bangalore. Or even in India, then we thought about it a little deeply. We're like, India also doesn't have one national player or whatever for sandwiches. We've seen it in burgers, pizzas, and all. Regional players are there. The only famous, and when I say famous, like someone who's put thought into sandwich instead of just putting two things between bread, was only Veronica's that we could think of by Hunger Inc. in Bombay. So we're like, okay, that looks fucking fire, and people are still waiting in line for 50 minutes and everything. It's good food. Bangalore definitely at the least deserves like a well-crafted sandwich shop. That was the idea, and then we just started doing pop-up. At home, we started building a wait list. About 400 people were there on the wait list, ready to come for the home pop-up. And that time we thought it was because it's a cool factor, like, oh, you're going to someone's house, eating a good meal, talking about it. Then we got invited to a couple of food festivals. We went there. At this point, we didn't even have an Instagram page or anything. We were just like, it's a fun college project. We took the stove and the fridge from our kitchen. We go to the pop-up, we set it up, and we're getting sold out on, like, within 2-3 hours. We went with 100 sandwiches or something. Within a couple of hours, we're getting sold out. And we're like, okay, we're on to something. Then we met one of our partners in business now, Misha. She runs Salt and Pepper. We started doing pop-ups out of her kitchen. So she gave us her staff, her vendors, her equipments, everything. All we had to do was just come, cook, serve the customers. It was like a quick masterclass for us on how to run this. For 3 months, we did it without per se any cost. Then we saw, like, even then we were doing reservation style, similar to Naru or Gorilla, like slot system. And we were selling, 250, 300 tickets in like under 2 minutes or so. So we're like, okay, now there is something is working out. That's when we are like, okay, we have something going on. Let's dream this big. And we realized, okay, we definitely want to be a global brand that comes out of India. And that's something that we want to scale across India.
How do you look at Sando Club? Is it a product first business or a brand first?
I mean, for us, definitely it's a brand first business.
Product is non-negotiable to us. I think if you're in F&B, it is the number one priority. Like if the food drops or whatever it is, if it's not tasty, if it's not something that people talk about, then I think you are kind of failing at what you're doing, right? So product is non-negotiable, but I think as a business, what we're trying to build is brand first, because at least our belief is that in food, it's easy to copy. Like tomorrow, another brand can come with the same 10 sandwiches that we have on our menu, and it won't be sure plus or minus 10% difference in taste. But at that point, brand is what I feel like will bring that loyalty to customers. And we look at brand as it's Sando Club as a person. And it's like how the customers are interacting with this person. How do they feel about us? How do they think about us and everything, right?
It would be brand first, but at the same time, you will not move away from your core product of sandwiches, or will you? Maybe tomorrow you go to a market where your sandos are moving well, it's great, but consumers are saying, why don't you have burgers?
No.
Would you do that also?
No, but we also have recently started salads, because earlier we didn't have salads on the menu.
Right.
That was also because there was this meal, like lunchtime, for example, office crowd will come and a sandwich was too heavy for them. Or some people have gluten allergy and like, they don't want something too bready and stuff like that. First thought was like, why you come into a sandwich shop if you have gluten allergy? Like that doesn't make sense. But then we're like, hey, that's not how we should think.
Right.
Then we're like, we need to figure out a product to cater that is still on brand, but not too away. Hey, burgers come under a sandwich. All burgers are sandwiches, but not all sandwiches are burgers. So like, burger people, let them do that thing. We will focus on sandwich. So salad is something we recently made, and that was a brand call. Because we're like, hey, we can still make salads playful and fun. And that creative thinking, mad lab of flavors is how we look at it.
You must have seen, I think, our marketing, like we're really heavy on marketing also. Like the goal and the vision with this is eventually we want to create a sort of lifestyle brand with Sando Club. Like maybe it's not just food, but it also goes into lifestyle and other things around it and stuff.
That lifestyle choice is what we want, where, hey, if I want to step out to have a sandwich, what are my options? And in that, Sando Club comes not just because we have really good food, that is important and a non-negotiable, but it's like there's another reason also. It's because I know that there's that special feeling that comes with that. But even from a product POV, like we still haven't started, but we want to get into, say, heavy merchandise. We make a lot of sauces in-house. We want to get into selling sauces and possibly D2C version of that. Then media is also something we want to establish. Like we have a couple of IPs that are not about selling sandwiches. It's more about, like there's something we call crazy combos. So there we just try weird ingredients like your French fries with vanilla ice cream or Maggi with sambar and things like that. Because in our food also, where we don't say no to like these weird flavor pairings, right? Like a prawn sandwich has oranges inside it, or lamb has apples inside it. It's not something that you hear. So that's also something we try to do in our content, but it does not really sell the sandwich in that sense.
What would you say, like when you were building your brand like Soka,
Right.
Is this something that you ever thought of, like this sort of dilemma in your head about, hey,
Scaling.
like, is this on brand? Is this not
Just
on
brand focus.
Just brand
Yeah.
focus.
I think it depends on how you want to look at scaling your business, or at what situation you are in the business. If, say, you have started the business by gathering maybe funds with your own self, and if you have opened a place, you want it to work. If you don't make profits, then
Yeah.
nothing else is going to work. So now when we have built Soka, for us, Soka is a brand, and the product and the whole experience makes Soka what it is today, although maybe mine and Sombi's name is just put together. I cannot take Soka to another city is what I feel like. If I'm going to probably go to Bombay and do a Soka, then I'll do the same space, the same vibe, the same drinks, the same thing. I cannot do another version of Soka now, because that's what the experience of the space is. That the experience is contained inside, it's cozy, you can almost see everyone sitting in this space.
What would you say is like your main core differentiating factor, like for Soka, like the way you see it compared to like other bars? Like, what makes Soka so different as a cocktail bar?
I wouldn't compare. I mean, every bar, for that matter, if it's a cocktail bar or anything, has its own identity. And we have our own identity, where our program of drinks is about picking ingredients around Bangalore, or what we see usually but not used in food or drink. Like the drink what you're drinking right now has got red cabbage. You see red cabbage used mostly as a garnish on the side, or used in salads, and nobody is making anything with red cabbage. So we thought, why don't we use that? Similarly with jasmine as a flower, women wear it, it's put on God, but nobody uses it in food. Nobody cooks anything apart from the tea what we drink that is dehydrated. So those are the things which we picked and said, let's build a drink program around it. And then Sombir said, I'll build a food program around what you get in Bangalore, but generally when you're drinking or when you go out, and which will pair well with cocktails. Like usually when there are a lot of kebabs places, right? In college, you would have picked up a bottle of alcohol, gone to your room, picked up kebab, and you usually squeeze that lime on the kebab and have it. So I said, we'll do like a nice kebab with raw mango chimichurri, which will make it look like. So that was our thought, that someone who, as a consumer, you come in here, you have a good drink, a few bar bites.
Do you look at this, what market demands, and then how do you cater to that? Do you sometimes listen to it? How do you choose whether to listen to them or not listen to them? Is that an internal call only, your gut feeling, or is there something you
See,
do?
a lot of it comes down to resilience as to what you intend to do with your product, right? Now, if you are saying that I will do only certain style of sandwiches and I'll not do the chicken tikka sandwiches or what, do you think that there's enough consumer set who will come back to you again and again and keep eating your sandwiches? I don't know what is your consumer retention ratio, right? And if you want to scale now, you think if you want to open another outlet in another part of the city, do you think there are enough consumer set who will come and dine with you repeatedly? You're focusing on the product. That's a very niche product what you're doing, right? You can't get those sandwiches anywhere else, which is right. You said we don't want to be another sandwich brand like doing run-of-the-mill sandwiches. But then but you're also saying that you want to scale.
Yeah.
If you want to scale, then what is your vision for scaling? What do you think? Maybe I need to open 10 outlets, or?
So how we plan it was, in the next 3 years, we just focus on Bangalore. In our head, we were thinking that, okay, maybe 4 outlets, like dine-in outlets that we'll have in Bangalore, couple of cloud kitchens, and that's it. Like, we don't want it to be too spread out. We want to, because it's a little premium, like APC is around, say, 850 to 900 rupees that a person spends. So it's on the higher side. So I don't want to dilute the brand by being too present and like it'll cannibalize everything. This is in Bangalore in the next 3 years. Then we're hoping in the next 3 to 4 years after that, we focus on pan-India expansion.
Okay.
And there we're thinking it should be all the tier 1 and couple of tier 2 cities.
You opened your second Kompany now in Nagar, right? So like between the first one and the second one, like what was that moment where you all decided that, okay, fine, we are ready to open a second one? Like how did you all have that confidence, or was it just a leap of faith?
A large extent was leap of faith, because we opened Kalpane in JP Nagar in July last year, and in March we opened in Indra Nagar. So in about 8-9 months we opened the second outlet. Yeah, it was quick. So we have understood the pattern of how a vegetarian restaurant works when we opened Kalpane, and we had consulted for other vegetarian brands also in the city. So we knew that, okay, Indra Nagar has the market for it, and we have established ourselves as a decent brand, but you wouldn't go out and do 2-3 at once, but just do one, because you also have been doing a couple of things in Indranagar. You have Soka, the location is great. You have access to it. You will be able to see what is going on and understand the market better. So we said we will open one more here. Yeah.
Like for y'all, I'm guessing logistics also it made full sense because it was right here, close by to Soka and stuff.
Logistics wise, not much, because every outlet works on their own independently. So it's just
you don't have central kitchen?
no.
When you have two independent kitchens, won't like your food also I've seen it is complicated. Like you have sushi and noodles and like Indian, everything is there. How do you maintain that? How do you look at doing that? That's like one of our biggest worries. Like it seems like a deep ocean. Like I don't know where to get started on. Like we've done things to sort out in this one store. But is it like when second store happens, how does this consistency, quality maintenance, how do you look at that?
Whatever you're doing in the first store, you have to replicate it, right? What is the fear?
My worry is how do you catch issues before it becomes a thing? Like
you have to honestly let go of a few things, right? If you want to say that I'll open another Sando Club, then you want Sando Club to run 100% even if you're not there in Sando Club for 2 weeks, right? 99% is also okay. You can't be 100%. But only if you let it go maybe to below 90% or something, when you see those mistakes happening, then only will you be able to say, okay, how do I solve it now? If I have to open another one, I need someone else who can resolve this for me, or is there another way where I can bring in that consistency? Otherwise, you will not be able to scale. You have to let go of a few things. Only when mistakes happen will you know how to solve it. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. If you have that fear of losing control over what is going. If I'm not there, you might not put enough amount of the coleslaw in the sandwich and it will taste bad. What will my consumer think? Then you will not be able to do another one. And even your team will not feel that confidence that, yeah, I can do it even if these guys are not there, because you're there all the time.
Yeah.
And you keep finding out faults and correcting them. Let mistakes happen, sit over it, reflect. And then, okay, now I have a plan, guys. Can we do this way so that we don't face this again? Yeah.
Makes sense.
So all these things, do you like track in some, like, so one thing that we've been thinking about internally is that we have all the SOPs and processes and everything.
Right.
And that works, that happens. But where we're finding a challenge is how do we track that, hey, this is happening properly or not? Like until like say I go and check it out.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like a hard thing. Like, oh, every time we can't just go and check. So now what we have is, okay, there is another person like a manager or like a sous chef or whatever, who is that trusted source who will check this. Is this the only way, or is there like some other systems or whatever to know that, hey, is SOPs and process getting followed? Or you only find out when mistakes happen?
Only when mistakes happen will you be able to change the SOP to something else so that the mistake doesn't happen again. But I'll give you an example. Like when we opened Soka, we had ourselves and a small team, because we started off with a small team. And we had few girls who were working as waitresses and a host also to welcome them in. And they were trying to take the orders. They were not able to convince consumers about cocktail, because we were a cocktail bar. If the guest says, what do you have in vodka? What can you make for me? Then they're coming back and checking. So that guest is asking for a vodka straight up or something like that. So now that's a problem I need to solve. What SOP can I put on that they are well versed automatically from tomorrow about all the spirits and they can talk. Then we said, okay, the challenge is that they are not bartenders. They are not making the drink. They don't know how drink is made. Then how will they sell it?
Fair.
So we moved them to another outlet of ours, and we got bartenders to work on the floor as well. So they are able to convince the consumer about drinks rather than the waitress or a waiter trying to. So now it's an all bartender. Everyone who works here is a bartender. So we changed the SOP saying that if you have to work in Soka now, then you have to be a bartender. Yeah.
Oh, that's damn interesting. So at any point, someone can switch from like the floor to
the bar. And now anyone can switch for working at the door, can handle reservations for a day, can come make drinks here on one shift, can be on the floor on one shift. All round. And now, for example, one of the things I was trying to solve when I started running bars of our own is that why shouldn't the team take offs on Saturday, Sundays, right?
Okay.
Because it's a notion. Saturday, Sunday is the busiest. Friday, Saturday, Sunday for bars. Why shouldn't you take an off? So build the team in such at least one Friday or one Saturday in a month you get to take off. So you also can have time with your friends or go out and do things like that. So now with the team trying to take about 5 offs in a month, we are able to achieve. Maybe gaps are there. I'm not able to achieve 100%. Some months maybe none of them take off on Friday, Saturdays. It's possible. But you have to take that step forward and say, okay, let me try this. If maybe you get screwed on a Saturday night, your main bartender is not there or whatever. But now everyone knows everything. So even, I don't know, Tuesday night, yesterday was a takeover. It was really busy. But then some of them had an off. One of the team member, it was a birthday. So she came here to have a few drinks. So that is the step which we are taking. And now that is an SOP which we are trying to build. The goal is to achieve 100%, that everyone is able to do it. But depends on how busy we are and we are not. But we are not put a rule saying, no, nobody can take off on Friday, Saturday.
Okay, have a separate HR department or you are the HR?
I have one HR manager with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said this community is also something that I've seen you focus, like we've
Yeah.
come for Sunday Ritual and I've seen the Not a Bar takeover and everything. So is this purely just a marketing event kind of a thing for more business, or you're looking at some sort of community building, or like how do you look at these?
No, see, community is always somewhere where you can build your community and collaborate with a lot of people. It helps you grow if you're open to it and start learning rather than looking at every other person in the business as a competition, right? Now, I am able to learn a lot from what you are doing, and we are probably, you are able to learn from what we are doing. We are able to collaborate. Now, I'd never come to Sando Club and dined, right? But I had heard so much about you all. You guys are doing something extraordinary. Your pop-ups are popular. Said, why not collaborate with our own community who is doing such extraordinary work here and see how we can learn from each other and grow. So that was purely the intent that, okay, let's use our platform and work with the community to see how we can get better at it and not just look at every other bar and restaurant saying, oh, competition. Like it's not like I'm holding my secret recipe that you can't make what I'm making.
With Soka, because it's a bar,
Yeah.
like the audience that you probably had in mind when building Soka, were they actually the ones that ended up being your audience, like when you built the place? Or
Yes,
was it like a
yes. So
different-
after COVID, when international travel and all started hitting off, people had learned about what bars are and what is happening outside of India in terms of cocktail bars and things like that. Because they had seen a lot of content, and then they started traveling also. We felt that experience was not built in Bangalore yet, with a small cozy space. But in Bangalore, in India, when you do a bar, you have to do food, because generally Europe or Southeast Asia, when they do a cocktail bar, there's no food. Probably they'll give some nuts or something to eat. Otherwise, absolutely zero food. People either dine and then go to cocktail bars to drink, or they'll go to a cocktail bar, have a few drinks, and then go out to dine. But in India, we cannot just drink. We need food to eat with it. So we said we will give enough importance to food also while we build the bar. And the target consumer was above the age of 30, 35, who's able to understand the experience of cocktail and will come and experience this. But at the same time, it's a value market. Bangalore is, you have to give value for the money. You cannot be exorbitantly priced. So we said we'll hit that price point where people feel that I'm getting value for the money I pay. So we said we'll do premium spirits at an entry level sort of a pricing with great cocktails, so that the consumer feels value at what they are consuming here.
You said you saw places in Europe and all. Like, was there any specific bar that that Soka was inspired by, that you saw that?
Double Chicken, please, which I've never been to in
Okay.
New York, is what we had seen what he had done.
Double Chicken, please.
Yeah, he started making like a small bar and doing like sandwiches, burger sort of a thing in a traveling caravan. 2 years till he found a place and then opened a bar called Double Chicken. That was sort of an inspiration as to why shouldn't we do a small bar where we just do few drinks and few food. It was not something which, when we spoke to a lot of industry people, they said it would work also, because it was not making any business sense or commercial sense to do a small bar with high rentals and
License, everything is costly.
yeah.
If this was a 50-60 seater, do you think it would have still worked, Soka? Or do you
I
feel
doubt it would have
charm
worked.
is the fact
Yeah, the charm is that consumers are not trusting bartenders that they can make great cocktails. They don't believe that they'll put good alcohol in it. That was the belief. And with a lot of people who even tried drinking cocktails. So we said we'll make the bar at such a height and have a platform where consumers, anyone who's sitting in the bar can see what is actually being poured. So the menu, it says it's an expensive spirit, but the pricing seems to be lower than other bars. Is he really going to pour that, or is he fooling us? And then they see that you're pouring that inside the drink. They started trusting, oh, okay, they're actually making good drinks. That was the intent. So we wanted anyone sitting in the bar to see what drinks are made at the bar counter. That's why we don't have bar seats. If I come to a bar with 4 people and have a round of drinks, good drinks, if the bill is between, say, 4 of us, 6,000-7,000, I'll say, oh wow, nice, I had a good time. If it probably crosses about 10,000, I'll say, 4 of us went and drank there, bloody paid 10,000 rupees, would be my thinking. So I want to have a good time. I want to have, on an average, how many drinks would a consumer have? 2.5 drinks, not more than. Beyond that, you will, in 2 hours, then you're a little tipsy. I don't want to be another occasional brand.
When you say occasion, it's like birthdays.
Yeah, I want to go to Soka when for my anniversary date, or I would like to go there only when I want to go on a date. If I want to hang out with friends, I'll go to some other cocktail bar. Yeah.
So is that something you intentionally solved with marketing, like positioning and content and everything, or how do you build that in the customer's mind that, hey, this one, is it just the vibe, the marketing? What is it?
Or is it like a pricing thing?
See, when you sell alcohol, the consumer has already made up his mind what he wants to drink. He's probably consuming the same thing in 10 different places. Suppose you are a beer drinker. If you are having Kingfisher beer, you would go to Bob's Bar and have a Kingfisher beer. You would go to Chinlung and have a Kingfisher beer. You would go to a 5-star hotel and have a Kingfisher beer. You are paying different pricing. You looked at the pricing, right? And then when you come to this bar and you see, oh, Kingfisher is at 500 rupees. Shit, it's expensive. And that's how you're going to think about the pricing. So we made our pricing in such a way where we didn't stick to 499, 599 sort of a pricing. We actually took the alcohol cost, ingredient cost, and we added another 50 rupees or 60 rupees to it and said 572 is our cocktail pricing. So consumer, why 572? Why an odd number? It's an actual math which we put. We said, okay, every drink I sell, I need to make this much money at the end.
So now, how do we look at what are the things that needs to be true? So that second store, now you should definitely focus on it.
See, one is that you have to arrive at a stage where you feel that if I'm not there in the business all the time, my business will still function the way it has to function. There might be shortfalls, but then you should be able to solve those problems and come up with solutions and execute those solutions. And you will go up and down. Like some months may go down. You might lose someone from your team and you're not able to replace, but you should be able to find a solve. Okay, I will take my time and figure out what is the actual solution and work towards it, rather than getting a bit hassled saying, oh, if I am not there, this is not going to work. What if I lose money or things like that? Then only you will be able to go to another one. And now, since you have one and you have the experience, now you should start thinking, how big is the market for this? How much can I scale? From my learning, what also has happened is when you open a second outlet without doing enough amount of research and maybe not have that working capital, if it doesn't do as good or break even and start giving you some sort of good cash flow, then it's going to slowly start eating your cash flow of the business which is doing well. Because you start pulling it out from here and putting it there. Then sometimes it also happens that you're so emotionally connected with the brand, you thought so much, you did research, and now it is not, no, I have to make this work, which may not be the case. You have to probably accept, okay, now I'm losing money, this is not working. What can I take out from here and move to another location? Or can I just not lose more money, shut this, keep all those things in my go down and look, maybe when I get another location, I'll use it. Or can I just take that and move to a cloud kitchen space? Okay, forget the assets. I lost money on interiors and furniture. Sometimes you may feel, no, can you just sell this off to someone and then recover whatever money is going to. That is not going to happen. Nobody wants to buy a place which is not doing well and give you enough money also and then come and redo the place unless and until you have like a crazy ass location which people are dying to take up.
When we think of, say, the second store, we've done like, say, a basic Excel with like, oh, this is the number of people who are expecting and APC and all this delivery. So this is all theoretical. Like, as in, to me, I know that, oh, if this happens and this is the scene, worst case is this much, best case is this much.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is a theory on Excel sheet, right? Is there any way you feel like that can be validated before we
Quantified,
put in, say, that big capital?
You have proof of concept already. That is the validation, right?
Sorry. That is what I think I needed to get.
Yeah.
Better feeling.
Huh?
What do you think are the struggles? Like, I mean, like you said, y'all guys are also bootstrapped, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're also bootstrapped. I mean, one struggle that we definitely know is that, oh, like you want to spend on 10 different things. Out of 10 different things, you can only spend on like one thing or whatever. Because I don't know, like those things are not as important as this or whatever. Like, you know, is this the same kind of this thinking that you had, or you said, okay, fine, like, you know, fuck it, I will spend on everything and go all in and then like make sure everything works?
No, not really. So for us, everything we do, consumer is at the heart of everything we do. If we don't have food at the door, boss, no concept, no passion, nothing is going to work. So we look at it in the way where if I'm going to spend this money, is it going to make any difference to my consumer and my people also? I need to have a fantastic working space and a bar station. Otherwise, my staff will have back pain and they can't make drinks anymore if I have a bar counter which is low. And if I'm doing that, then my bartender will not be able to give a great experience to consumer. Like when we started building the space, there was the architect's idea was to put those small lights in the ceiling, which is I forgot the name of those lights.
Yeah, just focus on the small.
Yeah,
lights,
but it was costing about 35 lakhs.
What?
And only if you look at the ceiling, it looks nice. Now I said, for me, consumer is at the heart of everything. He can't touch and feel the light. Right, but he's not doing anything on the table where he's actually most of the time sitting and consuming. I don't want to spend money on those lights. I might as well spend lights which will focus on the table and show my product, and he can see the product. So we spent a lot of money on the lights which will go on the table, but not on the ceiling. Now, if the ceiling is painted black and when it's dark, you're actually not looking at the ceiling and drinking all the time.
So if we feel that, okay, there is proof of concept is there, numbers are kind of making sense. This has been profitable since the beginning only. But the next store, now, how do we look at funding it? So bootstrapping would mean that, okay, we have to wait for a period, like, you know, to keep accumulating the profit and everything and then build up the store. And that will take us, let's just say based on current math, it'll take us another 2 years or so to just save up enough for the next store. Or do we look at some sort of funding or equity partner, or should it be like at one store level, you give me the money for the store? What kind of models work in this F&B space for, you know, expansion or in terms of opening another outlet?
There are multiple models. Like you can partner only for a single store and ask someone to invest the money, and you guys are 50% partner, but you operate it, you put down the rules and regulations that this is how it's going to work, and maybe ask someone else to put it. Or from your own bootstrap money, you can probably put in a percentage of it and then get another partner who will just put in the money for the rest of the percentage, and you own the business maybe on a larger share, and then you operate it yourself. Or you can go to banks and borrow money, but banks would need a vintage of 3-4 years of business for any NBFCs. NBFCs will still give you if you have a vintage of 2 years, and then you can raise some money from them. But you have assets to pledge or mortgage or anything like that, then you can raise money from capital. Equity is something which for F&B, I don't see a lot of people putting in money as a private equity. Now there are a lot of options and people are trying to do it in different ways. But it depends who is going to be your equity partner. If he's someone from the business who already knows, then he will know that most of the businesses in F&B will fail.
Equity, like what does that investor get back? How does that money pay back and everything work?
So that is one of the models where an investor will come, or maybe it's a group of investors who will come and help you open another outlet. and you first return them the money from the operational profit which is generated, and after the money is returned, then they get a lesser percentage of the profit and you take more of it.
For as long as the business runs, like it's a forever deal only, right?
Yeah, how long would you run the business after the ROI? Depends on you.
But in these kind of deals, there is no exit or like, oh, until 5 years I will pay you this and then it's over. Or is there
You
something
can do that based on how you want to put the
Structure
framework
the deal.
on the deal. Or like you can maybe do like a hybrid of FIFO and FOFO model. Like you sell the brand of Sando Club at a certain price to open one menu, and then the investment on that is so much, and then you will operate the business and take a share of the top line revenue, not on the profits. Profit, whatever comes, goes to the owner. But then, what are the profits you think you will commit to them? Become a question. What is the ROI you might commit to them? It depends on that also.
So giving them that profit is our responsibility only. Like if you tell them that, oh, you're going to make this amount of money,
Yeah,
that we have to account for and make sure they're getting that.
correct.
What is the relationship with this investor? Is it just like chup chap money and then like we do it, or is it more like doing this together? Like, they're more involved in things. Like, how do you look at them?
If I am wanting to open a brand and I want, like yours is a niche brand, I'm only doing sandwiches, I don't want anyone telling me what is to be done, I know it is going to work, then you can have an investor who is just coming in for the money and you do what you do. But it based on how you want to build that whole framework of how much is he going to invest. If he doesn't have anything to do with your business, he's just putting in the money, then he would want you also to put in the money and have some skin in the game. Because if he's putting all the money, tomorrow if it's not working, or what if you lose interest? He can't come and run your business, right?
Are there any observations? I mean, this thing about, oh, this is like the goods and bads of investors. Like, stay away from these kind of investors and, try to have these kind of...
In your experience, like what do you think is like
red flags?
red flags to investors?
I don't think so. There are red flags or anything like that, because are you actively, is that worrying you to scale?
Our worry is that if an external person comes, we take the money, they'll come with so much like, oh, I put all the money, like, do this, do that, or whatever. And we have a certain vision and like, and our worry is that will they get it or not? Like, if say tomorrow, like, just as an example for April Fools, we wanted to partner with a condom company and make our sandwich flavored condoms. It was just a brain fart of an idea and like we just tried to pursue it and it was going into shape. Now I don't know, like I don't want an investor who will be like, oh, I don't want to be associated with this kind of a brand, and like these kind of things worry us. I don't know if it's a legit worry, we're just overthinking it.
No, but the first question is that how much money you need and what do you need it for?
So right now we're just worried about, the next store, we need capex for setting up that store.
How much is the capex required?
It'll be like 70-80 lakhs.
Can't you fund it from your own business?
It'll take now 2 years approx if we just do.
Can you like fund a percentage of it and then raise the rest of it from the bank or maybe from one investor where you say, okay, I will run the business the way I want to. You will invest money in it. You are 50% partner in the business. If you give me 50 lakhs, which you keep it in the bank or whatever mutual fund, which is non-riskiest or whatever, you will earn this much money. I'll pay you a little more than that. Can you give me the money? It's a risk. If it doesn't work, maybe you will lose all the money. I'm not liable to pay you the money back, but I think it is going to work and it will make you more money. And so, but you feel that no, you want control of the business. You can say, after I pay you back all the money, can I buy back the 50% also? Maybe by that time you would have made more money. You want to buy back all that 50% and keep the brand to yourself. Because external money can come in multiple different ways. But it's up to you how much you want and what is the threshold. If today I want to open another bar, what I would think, okay, what is my cash flow profitability which I can park, say about 3 lakh rupees if I can keep it aside from my business right now. I have 20 lakh rupees in my bank which I can invest in the business. If this operation is running on its own, I can take out 3 lakh rupees. So I'll probably go and get 30 lakhs private finance who will give it to me like in a month or 2 days they can give it to you, right? But they want the money back in 10 months. I'll get 30 lakhs, maybe I'll get only 24, 25 with the interest rate and I'll keep paying that 3 lakh rupees for the next 10 months. I know my business is stable. But in the next third month, you will start having cash flow with the new bar which you're doing, you don't have any investors headache.
Hmm.
But no, when I start, I want to do 5 outlets. To doing 5 outlets, I need 2.5 crores, and I want that money in the bank so I can go pick up this real estate. I will pay the rent. I want this place. And then you need maybe capital like that. But if you want to only do one, the entire business is your own. You paid back the 30 lakhs, you put in 20 lakhs. Maybe if in case by the time you open, you need another 20 lakhs, I think you can still probably take help from family or someone else rather than getting an investor. If you're only looking at doing one more stuff.
For Soka,
Yeah.
did you all plan to open here itself, like from the initial? Or
No,
was
so
it a different place?
for us, most of the business is learning the pattern and seeing how we can solve this and do it. So there was a restaurant called Simply Native behind this. We consulted for that restaurant. There was a bar here and it wasn't a great bar or anything like that. So we were looking, we thought, why shouldn't we do a cocktail bar here and see? And we approached the owner and he said, can we pay you rent and take up the space and do it? He said, okay. And then that's how it happened.
You're just like, what if? You're like, what if it works? And it worked.
Yeah. And a lot of them said it may not work. We said, okay, what is the threshold we can lose money on this? We will still have consulting, we have other things going. Let's give it a try. If it fails, okay. If it failed.
Would you say that consulting is your kind of cash flow of sort to take these kind of risky bets? Like, is that something? Because I'm just trying to think like, oh, we only have one business model, which is just selling our sandwiches.
Yeah.
But I've noticed in your career that you have had one is consultancy and also multiple brands of sort.
Yeah.
And does that give you more cushion to take riskier bets?
Not necessarily. Consultancy is not an everyday cash flow like a restaurant, right? And I have a separate team also for that who is working on it. And if I don't have 3 more projects for the next 1 year or something, I will not have enough cash flow to do it. I mean, take that cushion and say, no, I'll still take a risk. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were in our shoes currently where we are at Sando Club, like what would you spend the next 6 months sort of focusing on or doing, given where we are?
I think if I was in your shoes, I would have first thought about who are the people I need to scale. Within the team, do I have enough people with whom I can scale it and I can move away and then start focusing on scaling the brand? For example, if you have a team who is doing certain amount of things, can you move them out and put them somewhere else and still the team can function the way it is to function? You should move away from that business first in order for you to scale. That is what I would do. That first let me build people and then only I would look at opening another one. Because you will need the same number of people to open another outlet, I assume, apart from the admin and all the other bit. Yeah, and who are those people? And that will become more important because yours is a niche product. It's not that you can do 3 Sando clubs immediately. Yeah, you can't train someone on just preparing the same Sando the way you get behind and look at the quality and consistency. Consistency and who are the people who are involved in building this consistency. Rest, I think everything else will fall into place. You can figure out the money, you can figure out the location, you can figure out everything else. That's not tough, is what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not able to leave my outlet and go and stand and open another one, then I wouldn't even. The money is secondary then. Yeah. Tomorrow if someone comes and tells you, your dad might tell you, okay, you need 50 lakhs. I had an FD, take it. Open another one. You can, the money you want to open, but you don't have people and consistency happening then.
Fair.
Good chat.
Yeah, it's good chat. I had fun.
Okay, now try making a cocktail.
Carl makes. Just that ice, bro. I made ice for you.
You made ice for me. What did you put? Lime juice.
One eternity later.
Yeah, what about training?
I like it raw, unfiltered. Just